Hello everybody, welcome back to this nice crisp St. Stephen's morning, and it's just gone 8:30 here this morning, and I'm finished milking, finished doing my work, and I'm about to go down the house here and have a nice hot cup of coffee. But before I do that, I want to show you something, because we're heading into a new year, and a new year brings a new leaf, and sometimes a new leaf brings a new project. It brings different things for different people, but to me, one of these projects is a place you've never seen probably in our farm, and that is what rests between my own home house behind me and this house here, which is our stubble-slab house that you normally see our milking cows in. This is the back of it here. And here's the place you don't see, but it's an important wee place actually. And there is the remnants of half a milking parlour in there too. It's bits of doors, bits of old gate stuff that's broken up, but I can go in there and I can get bits and pieces of small lumps of steel and things that I might need to fix something, and I'm always rummaging through here, adding to it and taking away from it. Now if you look down here, you will see there's a very large drop down there to the field below, but the street level of our house, my home house up there, would have come the whole way down here and would have been the same level as this. There was so much raising done here, it was incredible the amount of stuff we drew down here. And the reason we built this up was we were thinking about putting an access point or being able to drive around here with a tractor, and actually we were for a couple of years, and empty this tank from this side as well, until I came along and I built that calving pen you see there. There used to be a gate just there, and you could open that gate and you could drive around here. I didn't find that particularly useful. For a small tank like that, didn't find it really that useful, so I didn't mind building that shed in this place. But this area here lies dormant, so the project in hand will be to remove that Lelandy hedge, move some of it. And so when we have the hedge out, we're going to make it pass up onto the street, onto my parents' street. This area here then, we're going to gravel it, clean it all up, and then my plan is that we'll build machinery shed here. So the idea would be to come from the gable of that house right over as far as we can come here. A steel beam up here, tie it into this wall, probably a steel beam in the centre as well. A low block wall, just basically like an extension, another bay onto that shed. We're going to come up then right to the eave there, and then we're going to come down to where that steel beam is. It sits right there, and that's where our shed is going to stop. We're going to allow an overhang to come about halfway where that line basically is in the wall, if you can see it. So about halfway our overhang will continue on down. That'll allow us plenty of room to still get in with tractors and stuff. But we did have it marked out and kind of price as well. We got on a steel frame, which was quite expensive. Yeah, stuff is crazy expensive. It's not as bad as it was, but it's bad enough yet. So that'll be the first option. Then come along and just build a low block wall just along the bottom and sheet down the whole way around it, and put a couple of skylights on the roof, and that'll be more or less it. Electric is just there on the other side of that wall. There's another option which I'm thinking of, a few ESB poles, old ESB poles. We say ESB, we mean the power company poles. They're a lot heavier and treated, and put them down instead of steel beams, and then just timber everything across and do it that way. I've done it before and I know how it's done, and a lot of people around here do exactly the same. But if I was doing the pole style barn, I'd do that myself. So that is the project I hope to start in early spring. So this is obviously where our crush is and where all our cattle is handled. Now, it's not ideal. When I'm doing the work on my own, I have no issues at all. I'm so used to using it now, I don't have any problems with it. But this was done when our silage pit was put in and this concrete base was put here. I said other times in the video, you can see a line here where the plaster kind of stops as it runs down there along the back of the crush. Well, that used to be the floor level here. That used to be the height of this yard. This was all dug down. I said when I was doing it, we'd stick in these posts. I built this crush myself. Probably took me about 2 days to build it, and it is done a lot longer than it was supposed to do, put it that way. The only issue is the flow isn't right. Our other farm, you'll see the way the curved wall is, where cattle go in and they naturally walk around, encourages animals to walk the right direction and up into a crush. Here you don't have that. You have a dead end up there, and cattle, when they come in, you're behind. Some of them can stop right here, and if an animal decides to stop there, you're hunting them up from the lower end. You can't get the animals to go up the crush. So now if you want to avoid that, you hunt one cow in, put this here in behind her, close it up. That keeps her up, and once they see her up, they'll run up behind her. Otherwise, it's a good crush. It just doesn't hold very much either. 5 cows is all that will hold. So the reason I'm showing you that is that shed there is our calf shed at the moment. Used to be an old cubicle house. Now that shed used to come the whole way down to about here, and inside this piece was a small crush. 6 cubicle spaces here for cows. Used to be a door come across there, not a full door, just a kind of a half door, and the cows, you could always see their heads coming out through the crush on this side. It worked really well. It was, look, it was nothing special, rough and ready. So that piece is gone, but this calf house here, my intentions would be down the lane, take the roof off, raise this whole shed up much higher and bring it right to the back wall of this silage pit. Once that crush should be gone, and then you'd have much more room for calves. We could redesign the whole thing inside and have calf hutches on both sides rather than just one, and that will double up our space, which, you know yourself, space, especially when it comes to calves take up a lot of space, and that's another job, definitely not next year, but that's another job I have in the plans to do. But here's where our new crush will go. I had a notion of putting it up this year, and then just, well, I'll talk about things at the end which put me off from doing that, but this is where our crush will go. Our head gate will stop somewhere around here. We'll still have the yard split, but we'll have our 2 pens of cows. We'll be fit to run our cows through the crush, and then we'll be fit to let our cows go straight out to grass as soon as they make no hole in them back at all, because we can bring a gate from here out here to this gate. We can redesign this by putting a post there, having a small gate, so when cows are finished milking, we can let them run out, run up through the crush and out the field, and there's no hole in cows back at all. Now, it's not the cows get held back very long after milking, they don't, but if we can let them weigh that bit quicker back to grass, all the better. So our crush will probably come to about here. We'll have a gate in there, then we can bring across somehow, push it behind the cows, and they'll run up into that chute. It should work really well. It should hold 10, 11 cows, and that'd be a hell of an upgrade just for me working on them. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that one. That is a job we will get done this year. So this is the area that we dug out a couple of years ago now. It's hard to believe the way time goes on. So the back of that is 12 foot high. We do want to put mass concrete walls here. Because we have a bank like that, we don't want to have to leave an area behind, just like what you see here. I don't want to do that. It's dirty and an animal can fall down there, and it's always just a bit of an eyesore. But when you have a bankment like that, well, you kind of understand mass concrete is really the only way to go. So a lot of people do ask about this job and when are you doing it, Adrian? Well, when I dug it out, I said that time that we would price all the stuff that we needed to do. Right now we just wanted to get machinery off the yard out of the way, which this does that for us. So the story of this site has not changed. My idea is to do the 2 jobs that we mentioned first, that little shed on the front and the crush and a few things like that done, and then when they are done and complete, this is what we will look straight at and take it seriously and get something done here. Now, the reason why we didn't do that shed this year, the one that's behind the slab house where we first started off on this video, because of a few reasons, and reasons kind of out of our control, which was health. Thankfully not my own, and thankfully not within my own direct house, but my parents have had a tough year and that has been tough on us. That was kind of all we focused on, getting our jobs done and keeping the farm running right, keeping everybody right, but still dealing with what we had to deal with there. And thankfully, I'm trying to show you a wee clip here of my mum, who just came out to check and see what I was doing, and this is the first time you'll probably ever see her on a video. So here she is now. Oh. You want to say hello?
Hello, Adrian.
So yeah, so she never has been in front of the camera before, so we'll not make her too shy. She's well improved, back on her feet, back out doing the things that she likes doing. And it's the same with my father, he's out and about as well. So we have to be really grateful for that. But they are the main reasons why I didn't start a shed. Get over that period of time, which thankfully we did. And I'm sure there's loads of people who go through the very same thing within a house. That's normal family life. I know it would annoy a lot of people if I left today's video and didn't mention the thing I get asked about the most. And that is the cottage. Every video that I post, always somewhere along the comments, if you want to go and look yourself, you'll see it. Any update with the cottage, Adrian? We always said when we started this project, it was a long-term project. So we haven't had time to actually go near the cottage. I haven't even stood in the cottage in about 2 months. But that doesn't mean by no means that we've forgotten about the cottage, because we haven't. Our architect, who has drawn up our plans for us at the minute, was off work for an extended amount of time there for a while. And he's back now, and he rang me actually about a week or 2 ago. Is the plans ready? So we're going to be sitting down soon and we're going to be going through all those, and I will share them with you. So be patient. You hear about all the jobs at home that I'm just after explaining, which will take priority because they really do need to be done. So this at the moment isn't top priority, but it's there. I do need to do a little bit of work to this shed. I do need to remove all that ivy, and I want to slap on a couple of doors just around it, just seal them up. I don't want any wind going in here because January, February, March tends to be rough weather around here. We've already had 2 storms blow in, so I don't want anything getting in any worse condition than it already is in. I want to protect the structure because they are the footings that we will be working on. So inside the cottage, real quick, it hasn't changed the whole pile. We didn't even get to paint it yet. But one thing I will be doing is I'm going to pull the ceilings down soon. I'm going to pull all the ceilings down. We're going to pull out any of them partition walls, all of that old rotten timber. We're going to strip it all down inside. And that we can do. Lift these old floors and pull them old ceilings down as well. Just basically strip the whole thing out inside. And then that back wall will be coming out and a new extension will be put there. So we have plenty of stuff to do in here in the old toilet / garage. I'm going to put 2 new beams across there. I'm going to prop that back up. I'm going to put a temporary back wall across there just to seal it for now, because it's protecting the gable wall at the minute. As you can see, it's a mud wall, and if that there was to fall, that wall would last no length in the exposed environment. So that's what's keeping that wall right. The house was checked for asbestos. There's no evidence of asbestos in this house. I know a few people did mention these tiles could have asbestos in them, and all of it's been checked, all of it's been cleared. But any work I will be doing in here, I will be wearing full protective gear at all times, not for camera, for myself more than anything. Yeah, looking forward to getting snapping to that. So that is it. That's the way I'm going to wrap it up this year. I'm looking forward to a brand new year. 2023 sucked, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. But in fairness, we got a hell of a lot done this year when I look back, and having these videos on YouTube for ourselves, if it's for no one else, even just for ourselves, we're looking back at some of the old videos at the beginning, and yeah, it does lift your spirits personally yourself. And sometimes you feel you didn't achieve anything, but other times you look back, you get what I mean. We got a lot done considering the bad weather and everything that was flung at us. It was a rough year, but it was an exceptionally good year for us on YouTube, and that's all down to you guys that watch, and I really appreciate it, because a lot of the stuff we done this year probably wouldn't have been able to have been done only for YouTube. You guys that watch our videos, like our videos, comment or whatever, you're all adding to that. So I really, really appreciate that. Not just me, but my entire family appreciate that greatly. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for the continued support. It lifted my mind. It gave me something outside of farming to concentrate on. Although it's technically farming related, it's still something else to keep you busy. For me, keeping busy is one of the things that helps out the most. And having something to concentrate on definitely helped me. It mightn't work for others, but it helped me in abundance. So Sinead just rung me there to get home for the dinner. It's St. Stephen's Day, as I said before, and she's talking about going out tonight. So we're going to go out tonight, and we're going to let the hair down, the bit that I have, and we're going to have a bit of crack with our friends. Not going to think about the things that we need to do or need to get. Instead, we're going to be really thankful and appreciative of the things we already have. And with that said, thanks very much for watching our videos this year, and I hope I'll see you in 2024. Have a good one.